everyone, welcome to the next video from this page from Wonderful Wildflowers by Johanna Basford. I'm just going to have to move some things on my desk to make room for our next, whoops, oh it's okay, I just nudged my phone onto a different screen, but it's okay. I just need it there in case my son gets in touch with me. Here we go. So this is our fourth picture. We're using the Arteza Expert pencils and the Languo Pens. So let's start with pencils as always. And I'm looking at these thinking not only have we not used a blue yet, but they do look quite bluebell-like. So that's what I want to do, but I want to keep them quite delicate. I'm just looking at the colours. I'm actually going to start with a dark colour, but bear with me because it will make sense, I hope. So this is the blueberry blue, which as you can see is a dark colour. And I'm just going to use a little bit of it at the top here of each of our little bluebells, like that. So I'm really trying to go on there quite delicately so that it doesn't look too dark. And we're going to put our next colour on top and hopefully it will just blend it away a little bit. Well, not blend it away completely, but change it a bit so that it doesn't look as dark. But we'll see how it works with the other colour together. Now I've got these inside bits to do as well, but I'm not going to do those yet. I'm just going to try and get the colour right to how I think it should be on these other bits first. So my next colour is the periwinkle blue. I need to give it a sharpen though. And this is more of a purpley pale. Oops. There we go, more of a pale purpley blue. We're going to go over the top of that blueberry blue and then come down, sort of fading slightly as I go, so that you can see that the top of each flower is darker than the bottom. Now really it would probably be the other way round. If the light was hitting the top of the flower it might be paler, but on the other hand the flower might just naturally have more colour at the top than the bottom. So it's up to you which way you go. I always just find this way a little bit easier. It comes a bit more natural to me. I don't really know why. And I think the colours are working together okay. I wasn't completely sure, I have to admit. There we go. This page is a bit different for me using pens and pencils, but I've been wanting to use my Languo pens with you for a while and hadn't quite found the right page because I wanted something that was reasonably simple, because if I'm going to be going over the black lines with pen, we're going to get the blueberry blue again, and this time I'm going to put it in the whole of the little section here to make it look quite significantly darker. Quite dark there and then a bit lighter there. I will put the other blue on top though. Let's just hold that down. Yes, so I've been looking for the right sort of page to show you some of my ideas. Now of course with a gel pen like that you can just use it for the whole picture, and these being quite slim delicate stems and things like that, they're okay, but I'm not very good at using pens for a whole picture. I tend to leave lots of little white gaps and things, and when you're doing that with pencil you can sort of get away with it, I think, but with pen there's no way. So back to our periwinkle blue, there's no way you can get away with it, and so it can just look awful in my opinion when I do it. So I tend to avoid doing it, but doing it this way seemed to work. Now I have to decide, these bits here, are they leaves? Now here, look, we've got these, so I think they're leaves, and what about that? I think I'm going to do that all in green. I'm just having a little think. I'm grabbing the blueberry blue again because some of these flowers slightly overlap each other, like here, and I feel like I want to just put a little bit of shadow in with this blue just on those overlapping bits like that. There we go. I don't know if that's made a big deal of difference, but I'm glad I've done it. Now with the stems, let's have a look at our colour selection. I feel like I want to go in with the basil green this time. It's quite bright. What number is it? Is it 611? Got to try and find it. It's sort of bright and pretty, and here it is. Just feels nice to go with the blue. Here we go. This is our basil green, 611. You can't see the name. So let's start with this bit at the top and work my way down. There we go. I'm trying to decide what pens to use, but I really can't do that without the swatch chart in front of me, which is on the floor at the moment. Just it sounds like I've chucked it on the floor. I haven't got room on the desk, so it's just down with the pens in a little box on the floor. Now these ones, I don't just want to do one colour. I feel like that leaf should come through there really. But anyway, I'm going to respect Johanna's artistic decision and just fade this down a bit. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put another colour in or not yet, but I just want it to be lighter like that. We'll do the same with the other two as well. So layer up down here, just keep overlapping the colour over and over and you get a thicker layer, which makes it look more intense and therefore darker. And then you can start to reduce it as you go further up the flower, sorry. All the way up to the tip. Again, this pencil sounds quite scratchy, doesn't it? There we go. And then last one. You don't have to do all the leaves identical. You can do some slightly darker shades or slightly lighter shades, because if you look at leaves of a plant, they aren't identical. But for me, unless I've got colours which are really very close, it can feel a bit odd, just to me. If I see other people doing it, I think, wow, that's amazing, I should try it, and then I can't bring myself always to do it, because I can't always get it looking right. Okay, I do feel like I want to burnish those a little bit. So I'm going to have a look at what I've got. I think spring green or mint green. Probably the mint green. Is that the 606? Yes. Yes, this one. So we are going to just go back from the base a bit more colour to the tip. That's better. I'm feeling that more. So basically, if you go over what you've done already at the bottom as well as the top, it just helps it to blend better. Looks a bit more like it's all meant to be. There we go. Now what I want from my pens is a green that's really similar to this, but we'll see. I'm going to do the blue first, although there's this bit at the top to do. Okay, let's have a look at our swatch chart. So here we have the greens. And I'm having a little look and a think. Now, I'm thinking I'd quite like a green, excuse me, that goes really well to do the stem. So I just disappear it rather than anything else. And then maybe around here a bit different. blue waves green, bit too blue, sky blue, bit too blue. That's called seaweed green actually. That field green looks quite close to me, so I'm going to grab out the green style pens. Here they are, green style pens, and as I said, I think the forest green or the field green, so it's that one. This one. And I'm just going to start on this top, tiny bit at the top. Oh, I'm going to brush it first. Scratch, scratch. That's just the that's this scratching on the table. So I'm going to go around the edge and over the stem as well, so that there we go. This is testing my eyesight, that's for sure, and the steadiness of my hand. Neither of which are particularly good. But never mind, eh? I've got to sort out an eye test. Me and the children drew. I found some glasses I like. Right. Now, I'm going to do the blue next because, or else I might end up smudging the green when I do the blue. That makes sense. Let's have a look at our blues. What I am thinking is I might prefer to do one of these whites rather than a blue. I don't think any of these blues that are any good. So I'm looking here, but I don't think there's a blue here either. We've got a sparkly blue over here. That would be good if we could get that, but no. The dewy white, the ice crystal white, I think I'm going to use that. So that is in the light colour section. Yeah. So the dewy white, the ice crystal white, yeah, it does look a bit blue if you look at that one. So basically we're going to be trying to white out there. That's odd. Look at that. It looks like there's some sort of oil at the bottom of the pen. That line there. Anyway, I don't know much about gel pens. Right, let's go around the edge of the flowers. Now there are dots on the flowers, as you have probably noticed, and I'm not sure what to do with them. I'm thinking I might just go over them, and it will show up on the dark bit, but that's okay. I don't mind. There we go, so I'm going to just dot over those like that. I've been very productive lately, it's really good. I've got this idea to get a lot of December videos done very early so I can have some time off. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's been good. And I do find that I get very productive around this time of year though, because there's so much to do. I seem to be able to focus and just push harder. It's quite funny, suddenly the time feels, and it almost makes me wonder what I normally do, you know. But it's very good. I'm quite liking this delicate edge to these. Now this hasn't covered perfectly. You can go back and do another layer if you want to try. I don't think it will be dry enough by the end of this video for me to be able to do that. And to be honest, I'm okay with it anyway. Now here, remember, we coloured in a bit of shadow in there So I want to try and make sure that I don't colour over that. Sorry, don't know where my voice has gone. Colour over that with the white pen, well, whitish pen. Yeah, the person who gave me these pens, thank you very much, said that these pale ones were very good for colouring over the black lines, and how right they were. Get this sort of delicate hint of colour, which is really pretty. There we go. Now we need to go to the leaves. Now I'm thinking with the leaves, I'd quite like to try and blank out the edge, and then I'm not sure about this bit. So I'm going to grab this colour, which is the sort of greeny white. I think it's called First Ball White. It's a strange name. And I'm just going to try and see if I can plot them out. I really should have started with the furthest away one. I don't know why I started here, but we'll just pretend that it's all fine. And I won't have to, actually I'm lucky I've got a big hand, so I can reach over. Yeah, my son was talking to me about the fact that we have piano players' hands, but he was also saying how certain pianists and composers composed pieces which are almost impossible for a lot of people to play, because their hands were so big that they could stretch across lots and lots of octaves, and therefore sort of almost expect everybody else to be able to do the same thing too, and they can't. So you can't always reach all the notes that you need to be able to be playing at the same time. But our hands aren't quite big enough to do that, but we both have, and I don't know about my other son, very big hands. I was always told as a child I should play the piano, but I used to. So there you go. It wasn't actually a piano, but almost. Now I've got to make a decision about these veins. I'd quite like them to be a bit lighter than the plant itself, but I'm not going to go for this really pale one. But look, in the green style, we've got this one that's called Dirty Green. I rather like that. I'm going to go for that, or the mint. I've got green style. Here we go. Yeah, I think I'll go for this first one, Dirty Green. I'm actually going to put the other one back so they don't all shuffle up and I forget. So here it is, Dirty Green. We'll see how it looks. I'm going to scribble with it. There we go. Get it started. It's been a while since I used them. Some of them, you know, you don't always use all your colours. And I did, when I made the swatch chart, I obviously used all of the colours. It's not very opaque. There, that's better. It isn't see-through actually. Just have to put enough down. Yeah, so I swatched them all. I think I did it twice because I did it wrong the first time. Yeah, that's often the case. And but after that, I've used them, but you know, not all of them. So some of them might just need a bit of a wake-up scribble. I don't know if that's much darker than the one we used already, but I'm quite liking the effect. It's quite gentle, which I like. Like that. And then this one. Got to keep an eye on the time, my son will be home. Oh, yeah, I need to get the door unlocked or else we won't be able to get in. The doorbell will be ringing. After this one, I'll go and do that. Now I'm rushing. Let's try not to rush. There we go. He probably won't be exactly now. He sometimes walks a long way round to get an extra walk. Might today, as he's got an essay to write, so he'll be procrastinating. Now these nibs are quite small. They do a slightly thicker one in some of the pens, and some of them are small, very small. So if you prefer a thicker one, you might want to grab, what are they called? Are they called Plus, I think? I'm not sure, actually. There are some with thicker nibs. Anyway, there we go. It is done. So that is the end of number 4. I rather like it, to be honest. My favourite so far, I would say. But there we are. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a really super day and happy colouring.